Hey everyone, it's Nikki from the Fractured Lens. Yes, this is my last and final name change. The other ones had to do with two different things, and I wanted something to just focus on what I do, which is psychological film reviews. In this one, excuse me, in this one, we're going to take a look at the 2024 film Persona, which is currently streaming on Paramount Plus, and it runs an hour and 43 minutes. The film opens with a woman laying on a floor of this house, and what we can see from the interior of this room, the house looks abandoned, or the people that lived there were just horrible housekeepers. We don't know which, but we do know that this is not a pleasant place to wake up in. And when she wakes up, she doesn't know how she got there. She realizes that she has a really bad bump on her. Is it a bump? Well, she has a very bad sore on her head with dry blood around it. She finds her arm has bruises and cuts. She finds that her back has bruises. Her legs have bruises and cuts. And so since she doesn't remember anything, obviously she doesn't know where they came from, but this is quite alarming for her to show up in this state. So she's trying to find a way to get out. She tries the front door. It doesn't budge. It's solidly locked. Then she tries the windows that are in the house, and all the windows that she goes to are padlocked with either one or two padlocks. But she does come to one window in which one side of the window she is able to pry open, but when she does, she is met with boards that have been nailed to the window. So now she's really stuck, but she has a little something to go on. So what she does is she goes into the kitchen to try to find something to pry those boards loose. She doesn't find anything. She goes to other parts of the house. She finds a drawer with some stuff in it, nothing she can use. Cabinet, there's nothing she can use. So this is happening to her for a little bit. And while she's looking for something, she hears a voice from another room. When she goes in that room, she finds a woman that is strapped to a chair with blindfold on. And so she unties the blindfold, she unties the lady, and the lady, we learn her name is Sam. The woman that we met, we don't know her name, and neither does she, but it's not until later in the film that we learn her name is Trisha. So she notices that Sam has a really bad cut on the right side of her stomach, going a little bit to her side. And it's a pretty bad cut. It's a very deep cut. We can see this by the amount of blood that is coming from her. And Trisha gets to work to try to stop the bleeding. So she does things that somebody in the medical field would know how to do. And Sam actually makes a comment about that, asking, "Are you a doctor? Are you a nurse?" And Trisha says that she doesn't remember. She doesn't know. So Trish asked Sam, "How did you get here?" And Sam said that the last thing she doesn't know either. And she said the last thing she remembers, she was walking to a car from the mall, and that was it. And this something triggers in Trisha's head, something she remembers, and she asks Sam, she says, "Was there a hotel across the street from the mall?" I don't remember if she said hotel or motel, and it doesn't matter. But she asked her, "Was there a hotel across the street from the mall?" And Trish says yes. So now Sam says yes. So now now she has at least a little bit of a memory, I guess you could say, a little piece that she can try to piece together if she needs to. So Trish is trying to take care of Sam with this cut, which, as I mentioned, is really bad. They're also trying to figure out how each one got there, and they're trying to figure out possibly where they're at. And then later in the movie, Trish finds a manila envelope with pictures of dead women, and the dead women in those pictures, they were in that house. Excuse you. They were in that house. So it looks like these women were killed inside that house. And now they really have to try to put things together, and they both think that they have been kidnapped by a serial killer. And this is where they try to make a, now they're really trying to get out and try to not only get out, but try to figure things out. And the movie just kind of goes like that. It's just those two women for the longest time in this film until a stranger shows up and he starts revealing more information that pertains to one of the women. Now, again, the movie is called Persona, and Persona is the side of you show to the public. So, for instance, there's people on TikTok and YouTube and other social media sites that they have this one persona. They show themselves as maybe having a great life or taking a lot of vacations, or it's not really vacations, it's how they present themselves. And then the other part of them is their private self, the people the people that they hang around, their friends. They have a different persona. They're more themselves around their friends, whereas when they're in public in a setting like I mentioned, TikTok or YouTube or whatever, they have that persona. So the title of the film tells you a lot without telling you anything. And I was enthralled by the title itself because I remember a 1966 movie called Persona that starred Liv Ullmann. Now, if you are a film buff and you like these old black and white films, I highly recommend the film. It is just two women in this film, but it's a great story that goes on within the film, and there's no action, no excitement except the conversation that the women have with each other. And so that's what intrigued me, and I really liked the premise that a woman wakes up not having any memory of what happened. She got to figure something out, finds another woman, and they now have to work together to get out of this house. Everything was great until that woman that played Trish, she got on my flipping nerves. I think her name is Shanti Lowry. Oh my. First of all, she doesn't have screen presence. And I know this is probably acting a little too much about it, but her screen presence, her non-screen presence didn't bother me. I can get past that. It's like I can get past bad acting at times if the movie is going along pretty good. But her acting was horrid. When she would get mad or try to cry or something, it was just horrible acting. And if it wasn't for the title of the film and the premise of the film, I'm telling you, I would have turned that stuff off and called it Bob Hope. Oh, it was horrible. And there was one scene in there where she tried to show her frustration by throwing stuff around. She couldn't even do that right. It was horrible. Oh, whew. Oh my gosh, it was just so bad. And I just kept thinking to myself, oh my gravy, it is a gosh darn good thing I like the premise and the title. The movie was going okay. The film itself as a whole is a good film that could have been a whole lot better with that premise. But, oh, I don't know if I said, but later on somebody does show up and information is finally revealed, and that information has to do with one of the women. I don't know. I think so much more could have possibly been done with this film. For me, I don't know what more they could do with, two women stuck in this ratty house, but I think I just watch a lot of, I don't know. I don't know why it struck me as something more could have possibly been done with this film. I will say, though, that there were a few scenes in the film that reminded me of scenes in other movies I have watched. but I couldn't place the scene. There was not all of them, but one particular scene did remind me a lot of White Bear from Black Mirror. And when you see that scene, maybe it might remind you of it as well. So that's my review of the film. Do I recommend it? I would recommend it because of that twist that does happen when this person shows up. And the ending, I did like the ending. I liked the mystery behind the ending. So that was good. It was kind of some of the stuff in between that bothered me, that I either just didn't like or I felt they could have done more with it. As I mentioned, it is on Paramount Plus. It's an hour and 43 minutes. And that's it. If you guys have seen it and you liked it, let me know, but keep everything spoiler free. If you plan on seeing it, let me know your thoughts after you have watched the movie, because I really like to know your opinion. Do you feel I was right in my thoughts on the film, or do you feel I missed something within the film? And I will learn from you. And I also want to learn of films you would like for me to watch and review, because I want to consider this um, a community channel